Hello, hello. How is everybody? I'm gonna lower my fan. It's a warm day here in Florida. I was cold most of the day, but now I'm warm. I'm gonna try it on low and see how I can stand it. So hello everybody, welcome on in. If you are watching this part, it's replay, so you can fast forward to the good part. So you guys, today I am in the Stand Tall Crafting group with the lovely Miss Krista and a bunch of wonderful, inspiring creators today. Up after me is Queen Bee's Bits and Baubles by Branya. And I appreciate you guys being here. So welcome on in. Today I'm going to do something a little different than what Christy normally does. But we are still going to use some scraps. We're going to be using some fabric, and we are also going to be using hello, Miss Branya, how are you? Thank you, Krista, I appreciate it. We're going to be using one of these wooden bowls, which I already have set aside, and we are going to be using some old kids books. So I'm excited for this. Now, hello, sweet Charlotte, how are you? Okay, I'm going to put this over here. I think I know what book I'm going to go with, but I am going to show you guys a couple of options. So while I'm waiting for some more people to pop on, I have to say thank you to Miss Marsha. Marsha with, she just changed her page name, but it was Heart and Soul Creations. Now it's Marsha's Crafts. And I think there's something before that, but I will tag her if I need to. But she gave this to me. She had a recent auction, and this was one of the things that was in the box that was with her stuff. And it is just a wooden plate. Now, a lot of you, don't come at me, a lot of you think, may think this is beautiful. And if you kind of refinish this, it really would be. I, however, didn't really have a use for this particular style. So we are going to make this over, and we are going to decoupage this in a really fun way, and we are going to include some children's book pages because I am a little bit kitschy and I'm a little bit colorful. So hi Mom, thank you Krista, hello Rowena May Inspired, how are you? I started watching a little bit of your live. So I work full time, so I try to catch everybody I can, but the phones have just been so crazy. So, hello Amanda. Okay, so I'll show you. So there's the bowl. I am just using different scrap paper, which I'm going to cut some together with you today. And then you guys could either use the paper Mod Podge, you could use, hello Sharon, not at work. You could use the regular matte Mod Podge. I use this quite often, or you could use the fabric one. It really doesn't matter. All of it's going to dry clear. The only thing you have to kind of not worry about per se, but this part right here, I know it's backwards, but you can read it says matte. So you want to make sure. Thank you. I appreciate it. I did get a little haircut and now I have bangs. I was really tired of everything else. Hi, Donna. So just make sure if you're going to mix your Mod Podges that you use a matte finish. So that would be my only suggestion. I think I'm going to work with the paper one today. I don't know how to explain this scientifically, but whenever I use the paper Mod Podge, it seems less wet, if that makes sense. It really doesn't to me either, even me saying that, but it is what it is, guys. And then we're going to be using some old children's books. Now, you guys, I got these at an antique shop or thrift stores. Most of them I probably paid about $1. I unless there's something absolutely wonderful inside, I try to save books that are about to go. And what I mean by about to go, they look like this. They've been well loved and drawn in and falling apart. And I'm telling you, there are, I think the new statistic was about 5 million pieces end up in the landfill. So if we can save some of that and repurpose it, I'm all for it. Okay. So I want to check my phone's okay. I want to make sure my phone wasn't going to die. This one was another contender, but the only problem with this one is this was also $1. This was a very old one. This is from 1954. So this is an old Telltale Books, and these are in really bad shape. But the only reason why I don't want to Mod Podge this one is because some of the pages in here, you can still, I don't know if you can see it on camera, there's fuzzy on here. So if we get that wet, it's going to kind of wipe out. So I am going to go with the fabric choices. I'm going to go with Peter Pan. Now we're going to play with this later. Okay, we're going to set this one to the side. But honestly, you guys can usually find these in thrift stores, and definitely save, because even if you're not with the complete book, like this one is not a complete book, I think it's scribbled in and it's in really bad shape, you can still cut the pictures out. And it'll save the planet just a little bit, whatever we can do to help. I'm still going to use my cords. Hello, Becky. You have that Fuzzy Kitty book? Oh my goodness. What do you know? Okay, so I think we're going to get done with this ahead of time. If we do, I have a backup craft. If not, that is okay. I can chit chat with you guys. So I'm going to put my book aside, and I am going to start cutting up my fabric. Now, with the magic of Facebook and cameras, I actually kind of cut up some of this fabric. This is not coordinating. I want it to be bright and colorful, and you'll see when we get there. So I did kind of cut pieces up in different lengths and different sizes. So we are going to do kind of like a quilt type Mod Podge all over the bowl, and then we'll add our book pages. Hello, my CBFF. But I want to show you how I cut up my fabric. So I will show you this. All of this fabric, I didn't want to dig too much except for the orange one, and I think you can even get that at Dollar Tree. All of this fabric came from Dollar Tree. I do use the cotton one. It's actually the easiest for me to Mod Podge. So this one, I believe, was, well, this one was $1.25. I think all the fabric is still $1.25. And you get quite a bit. I didn't even use a full sheet on this. So this project is very inexpensive, and you can find a lot of these wooden bowls. You can do whatever surface you want. You can even do a glass bowl if you wanted. Hello, Lisa. You can do it for very inexpensive and make a whole set. These would actually make really good gifts, for especially if you have like a tween or like a little kid that, you know, loves to have, you know, all of their little things. Like Christy. I think it was Sandra's live today. I was joking around about playing with toys. You guys, I'm a big kid. So I have to be, that's just me. That's my personality. And it's the only way I can actually adult. Hello, my sweet Kimmy. And then I've got Bex on here. Okay. So I am going to cut this off. What I'm going to do is I'm just going to start small. I actually bought this for journaling. You love my hair? Thank you, Kimmy. I didn't do too much with it right now. So I'm actually going to cut just the bottom little rectangle here. Okay, I'm probably not even going to need all this. And for the sake of the live, I'm probably not going to do all of the bottom half of the bowl, but we'll make sure we get good coverage so you guys can see it. So Miss Kimmy, we are making a trinket dish from fabric and old book pages. So I will tell you right now, this is definitely something I've never done before. Hello, Christy. But I have confidence in myself, and I have confidence in you, and we are going to try it and see if it works. Now, I will say, I don't know if it will have a lot of difference using this, but I am going to use the paper because for some reason I find it less wet. Okay, so I'm going to cut this, or kind of fold it, because it'll save my cutting time a ton if I do this. And I'm going to just start cutting some strips. I want some small, and I want some big, because I'm going to run into areas when I Mod Podge it onto the bowl. I'm going to actually run into some areas that are small that need coverage, and I'm going to run into some bigger areas. So I'm just going to kind of mix this all up. So I am going to just start cutting, and I will say you want to probably use some pinking shears for this. That would be the only other thing I would suggest. Hello, hello. Is that Dago? Hi, Sandy. I'm so glad you guys are joining me today. Okay, so I'm just going to do some squares and some rectangles. Christy knows her shapes. I should. There's a book somewhere around here that gives me my shapes. And then I'm actually going to leave a couple of larger strips. So I'm actually going to just, yeah, we'll just cut off a little piece. So I have a few bigger ones. And that's okay if they're curl, because we're going to use a brush and we're going to brush them kind of flat on. And it's okay if every little corner doesn't have your little pinking shears. It kind of makes it look really cute and eclectic. It's cute when it has that edge on it. So, and you guys do not have to use books if you don't want. You don't even have to use paper or fabric. You could use paper if you wanted to. Whatever you guys want. I like the flexibility with the fabric, and that's why we're going to put the book pages over it. Yes, it's first time watching you. Well, thank you. Did I say that right? Is it Dago? Dago? Thank you for joining. I am in the Sand Tall crafting group. If some of you are just here because you're already following me, I'm in Miss Krista's group today. But if you are new here, let me know how you found me, and I hope you will give me a follow and say hello every once in a while, or whenever I'm on, whatever. I try to do different things. Oh, thank you, Lisa. I appreciate your kind words. So you guys, the house is quiet right now. My husband took my daughter to Walmart. She needed new shoes for work because she's already put a hole in her shoes, poor thing. But they did last her about a year. She works at Carrabba's. Hello, Krista. I hope you're doing well today. I know I got to see some of you in the comments today. All right, so I think that's it for that. So I think this is more than enough to cover our bowls. So I'm just going to kind of scoop them around so I don't have to keep grabbing that. So that's basically how I cut my strips. I do have a piece of orange in here, and I'm going to show you what to do with that in a little while. Okay, so now we are going to take, it doesn't really matter where you start. Some people start in the middle. Some people, we're going to cover part of the middle anyways, but you can start wherever you want. And you can use whatever types of brushes you want. Whenever I do Mod Podge on wood or like a smooth surface, I do like to use, or paper, I do like to use these little silicones. They do come in like the resin section at Hobby Lobby. I know there are other areas in Hobby Lobby that have them. I've had quite a few crafty friends tell me that, and they are easy to clean off because you just, like, there's some stuck on it right now, and you just peel it off. Really, it's really super simple. For this craft, I'm gonna try different ones to see where it takes us because I've never done this before. So I'm gonna use a regular paintbrush because I mean it will dry out for, you know, we want to keep it wet. This is a little bit stiffer one, or a foam brush. Now I don't know about you guys, but I have found most recently the foam brushes that they're making now, these are falling apart with the Mod Podge. The black pieces are going everywhere, and because this is a visual type of craft, I'm not going to use this one tonight. But if you have an older one that's been sitting around for a while, that foam might not be as cheap, and it still will work. I followed you and was watching Miss Jim and Justin. Oh, thank you. Miss Jim and Justin were such a hoot. I love watching the two of them together. I have not been watching them very long, just because I recently joined the Sand Tall crafting group, but she is so sweet, and I'm so grateful for Justin helping her. They're the cutest. They are the cutest. Yes, they're bad. Yes, thank you, Krista. I don't know what it is lately. It never used to be that way, but so you guys definitely see how this is. You don't like them either, Donna? Yeah, definitely see how this does for you. We're going to try a couple different ones, and we're just going to start doing this instead of talking because now I've talked your ear off. Okay. This one's a little bit gooey too because it is the paper one, but that's okay. I'm wondering if I should stir it. I shook it a little bit, but I think I'm going to stir it. You guys, chopsticks are good for all kinds of things. You should definitely have some in your craft room. Whenever you order some Chinese, ask for these. Even if you can't use them to eat, you can use them to craft with. I have used chopsticks to stuff like small areas of stuffing when I make my little like little stuffed animals or little stuffies. I've used them to pull out, push out the seams when you do inside out. So I'm going to stir this real quick. Let's see. You prefer the fan brushes. Yes, everybody's been using those lately too. I'm going to try and see which ones I like. And we're going to kind of see how this will work. I don't know if I've ever done fabric on wood before. I'm sure I have. I just can't off the top of my head remember. But I've never tried this particularly. They are good for everything but eating. Krista, I actually can use chopsticks. I was like 30 years old when I learned, but yeah. I'm gonna try with my silicone brush first. So I'm just gonna start doing this, you guys. So I'm gonna put a little bit on the bottom. I would say just kind of stick to one area. And then we're gonna put our little piece on. And then make sure that's completely covered. And then we're gonna do another one. And we're just gonna kind of run this over the edge. And we can put trim on the edge if we wanted to. But yeah, we're just gonna do this. We're gonna see how this goes. Now there are spray adhesives and all kinds of things I'm sure you guys could use, but we're testing stuff today. We're playing around. I don't have a lot of time in my life, so sometimes I like to try new things, and sometimes we practice on live. Hi Vera Lynn, how are you? And honestly, this might get covered really quickly, so. Now, if you find that you have too much, this is where it's like a squeegee. You just kind of like squeegee once you have it flat, because we do want this to dry a little bit. We're going to help it along, but we can actually squeegee it back in there. Okay. And then I just kind of mix and match my patterns and just make like a little quilt. I'm going to put my little ones to the side here. So we're basically going to cover it all, and it's going to harden a little bit. And now this bowl does have some like scalloped edges. So we're just going to kind of work with those. If we need to make adjustments later, we may have to play around with it at the end. Just have a few baby wipes on hand. Oh. My neighbors are probably home. And that's why they're barking. Sorry guys. Hopefully they don't bark the whole time. Or it's my family back. It must be my family back. They just left. Okay. So that's basically what we're doing. We're just kind of quilting this all together and making this a really cute hodgepodge. Now you can definitely use like more of whatever color suits you. People have done these with, like, I would love to do a blue and white one only. My dogs are looking for them. Oh my gosh, Krista, you have the most beautiful dog. Hello, my sweet Jackie. How are you? And there's Beating with Wayne. I almost said my Beating with Wayne, but he is up after Brania. So Brania's up after me. Miss Queen Bee's Bits and Bobbles. I think I finally got her name. Sometimes it takes me a minute, but she is hilarious. She has the funnest things to say. I just love her way of like thinking. If you guys have not watched her, you definitely should. She's a sweetheart. And then Beating with Wayne does some amazing things. And he's always doing like, you know, little giveaways, and I love his lives. He's so laid back. So is my Piper. All your dogs, do they make your dogs all go off? Oh no. Okay. So has anyone ever tried this before? I might be doing a little too much, but that's okay. We'll get it dried a little bit. So I'm going to try to find some of my little pieces here at the bottom. And like I said, this is all of your, this is just the idea. You guys will run with it and do your own thing. Now I have seen people do like a glass bowl before, where they've covered it with like saran wrap and they've done their own like little design at the top. And I love that too. That's also really cute. I just kind of like having that solid piece there already for me. Hi Karen, how are you? I put a little reminder in my little group chat I have with my ATC Card Club members. If y'all know what ATCs are, you can definitely check out the page. That's where I am. Most Thursdays I'm over here on my page about the same time as now, and we're making all different kinds of ATC cards and learning new things. So this week I actually have something kind of cool planned that I'm going to teach everybody. All right, I'm going to take some of this excess off. I do like having like the control of being able to like kind of squeegee some of this Mod Podge off, because it doesn't get wasted that way. So I do like this option. But you guys do you do whatever makes you guys feel comfortable, because you're the ones that are the crafters. Oh, hi Sue, I didn't see you come in. Hello Peggy. Oh my gosh, Peggy, I was thinking about you the other day. I have missed you. I haven't seen you in a while. Or at least I don't think I've seen you on my lives lately. I've been thinking about you. How are you? I want to say I had a dream about one of my followers, but I don't want to freak them out because it was a happy dream. But I don't want you all to think Chrissy's weird because I'm dreaming about you. So I'll just tell that person individually. So they know. Hey, it just means I'm thinking of you. That's all. Thank you, Karen, for saying that. I just try to teach people what I, would want to know or would want to learn. And we went very eclectic with our choices. I tried to think of things because I was really excited. I really want to do the Peter Pan book. That's what book this was, by the way. It doesn't look like, it's a Walt Disney Peter Pan, but Wendy has blonde hair. Everybody looks very different, but that's okay because everybody's different. But it's different than what we're used to. So I'm excited to use that one. I cut way too many of these other ones, but I tried to use like the mermaid. You know how he goes to like the lagoon? I'm trying to see where I can break this up a little bit. I think I'll break that one up there. He goes to the lagoon and sees the mermaids. So, just a fun fact about me, I'm a huge Disney person if you don't already know. And I actually have annual pass, so I don't live too far from Orlando. It's within driving. It's within a decent drive. But my favorite out of the whole I started talking about Tinkerbell. She's not even my favorite. My whole character out of the whole Peter Pan movie is actually Croc. the croc. He was always a favorite of mine. I'm very different. My grandmother loved Tinkerbell, and my second favorite is actually Tiger Lily, because I have a little bit of Native American genes in me. So just another little FYI on that. Okay, so now we're getting to, I'll show you guys, if you guys will see. I think I have too much red, so I'm going to cover some of that red. I'm going to put some more of the greens in here, because this reminds me of like the island, like Never Neverland, like the island. And like obviously the mermaids. I tried to find some greens for, you know, Tink. And obviously you want to give this time to dry. It does dry fairly, you know, not quickly, but it'll dry. It shouldn't take that long to dry, but we're going to help it along so that we can get our other part on, because we're going to put some book pages on here. I'm okay other than in pain from my hard fall last summer. Oh, Peggy, I am so sorry to hear that. You'll be in my prayers. I am so sorry that happened to you. I'm glad to see you, though. I hope you feel better. I hope you heal fast. That's what we need, is prayers for healing. So, it was funny. Miss Jim and Justin were talking about going out for dinner to get tacos. And we had burritos last night. I think my brain wanted to go ahead and just skip to Tuesday because Monday was not great. All the changes with work and all, it's just crazy. All right, so see how I'm starting to run into, well, partially my edges, but I'm also running into like the small areas. So now we can take our little tiny pieces and fill them in where they need to go. And again, this is just all whatever you want to do. I know that if you go to Jubilee Fabrics online, you can find the jelly rolls, and they have all coordinating colors, and that would look gorgeous on here. They have spring ones. You guys can make yourself your own little trinket plates. Let's see, where do I want this one? I think I'm going to put that one there. And then you'll get picky and choosy at the end about, like I'm doing, like, where should everything go? So let's put a blue one here. So I don't know if I was not listening to the comments, or not watching the comments. Prayers for you, feel better. Aw, see, we're all praying for you, Miss Peggy. I know Miss Peggy's very good at watching all of our crafters and trying to keep up with them all. It's sometimes a process. It's hard sometimes, but we all understand we have lives. All right, so another trick I will show you is, instead of putting like 1, 2, 3 across, we can actually do it diagonally, so we cover more space with the width of it, with the length of it, I guess is what I want to say. So I think some of it's starting to get a little tacky on me, so I'm gonna be careful with what I do. You just want to make sure it's down nice and flat. And then you can go in and just kind of add little pieces here and there. Just so you can kind of get those edges. And then another thing you can do is, you don't even have to worry too much about the edges. You can go in with paint, and you can just kind of give it like a nice color coat around it, and you can paint over it. Okay, So I want to do a nice little yellow one over here. And then I think I'm going to do one more red one. So I'm only going to cover the top of the dish tonight with you guys. I think I may try to even add some different type of trim. And if we have time, I'll put it on online. Now, your fingers will get messy, but it'll be like when you're in kindergarten and you peel off the "Hello, the Flocking Bench Club," and you'll pull off the glue. Like, did anybody do that? I didn't eat glue, but I like to peel it off my fingers. It was satisfying. I can't even explain it, y'all. I don't think we got in trouble for peeling it off ourselves, but I know that some boys in my class, I remember the teacher, I even remember my teacher's name, she used to yell at the boys for wasting it on their hands because they used to do the same thing. Those naughty boys. Okay, I'm going to look for a tiny red piece, which we can always cut again. Like, I'm just looking for a nice little red piece here and here, I think. So I just need a little red piece there. Let me do it that way. How are we on time? Have I chatted you guys up enough? Yes, cover hands and peeled it. Yes, you did. Hello, Snow Fox Designs. Hi, my sweet Lucy. Thank you. I try to be a little bit more spring today. I know a lot of people are getting into our spring crafts. We're just kind of winging it over here with our spring crafts. I will be completely honest with you, and I planned on telling you guys this. I went into my garage this weekend, and I found 3 totes for Easter. I took one out, and I went through the other 2 and pulled out what I absolutely wanted to keep up this year, or put up this year, and I put the rest away for next year because I'm in the middle of a huge craft room makeover and organization. I will be posting some information on my page about a craft sale I will be having. But you guys, I just wasn't feeling it this year. I just have so much to do and so many things going on. I didn't want to bother. I feel like with what I did, it was enough for me. And you don't have to decorate every year and go all out every year. And I have to remind myself that you don't have to kill yourself because it's sometimes a lot of work. And when I was out there, I almost had some shells fall on me, but I'm fine. I just should have waited for my husband, but I am very hard-headed sometimes. Oh my gosh, I'm missing comments. Hi, Michelle. Let's see. Hello, hello. Okay, so I think I have one tiny little piece. So I'm going to look for one more tiny little piece, and I think it's going to be our Little Mermaid. So I'm going to put just a little tiny piece here. And then we'll put it at an angle because that brown was showing through. And like I said, you could, oh, we have another little piece there too. Just kidding. We don't have to cover the whole thing, and you can trim your pieces. But for right now, don't worry guys, I'll clean my pinking shears. For right now, I'm not worried about that, but you could definitely cover those pieces and paint the bottom. But right now, for the live's sake, we're just going to worry about this part. Where was that brown I saw? There it is. It's right there. It's driving me crazy. And I think I'm going to use this. We're going to cut that just a little smaller. And look at all of that fabric. We could do like 2 more of these bowls if we wanted to. Now, if this is not your thing to do on this particular wood surface or whatever type of surface, you could use whatever type of surface. You guys know housewares are probably the most findable, if that's a word. We're gonna make it a word today. Findable things at a thrift store, and you can get them for dirt cheap because there's so much of them. They're really trying to make them go, unless it's something like spectacular, right? Okay, so this is gonna harden as it dries, and then you can go back in there and, you know, get your nooks and crannies and, you know, there's not a whole lot of excess. And I didn't even try the paintbrushes because I like this so much. But you guys do you. Try out what you want to try out. Okay, I'm going to put these in my little cup over here. And I need to get a wipe, so pardon law for a moment. Hello to all my beautiful friends. I know there's so many here tonight. Oh, there's 20 of you here. Look at that. Hi, Marlene. Marlene, did you get your box yet? Did you get your box yet? Or your package? Maybe you already told me you did. I'm not sure. I know I got a beautiful message from Miss Robbie at Robbie's Crafty Corner today. She got hers. You guys, I feel like my hands are not clean yet. Hold on. These little Fisher-Price baby wipes are not doing it for me. I don't know what it is. There's Miss Sandra. Okay, I'm going to take a drink. What time is it? 7:30. It's just now getting dark. I'm still not used to the time change. It's so dark when I wake up. It's so silly. All right, so we're going to put our excess fabric in here. And look, you guys, we can do a whole nother bowl. All right, so I'm going to set this to the side. Let me dry it just a bit. We're going to help it along. So, get my dryer. It is plugged in. And I'll try to do it over here. You guys are so sweet. Again, you guys, this fabric was all from Dollar Tree. Various different seasons and times that I got this stuff. I have such a big collection of Dollar Tree fabric over here, but you could use any fabric you want. And like I said, the Jubilee fabric would be great for this project because it's already stripped like that. I got my Hummingbird salt shaker. Yay, I'm glad, Sue! I recently had my 3rd birthday here on my page, and we did a trivia night, and I did some giveaways for that. Did you make it yet, Sue? Okay. That's good. That's good. So there is our little cutesy plate. Now, if you have, like, you know, a little old dish that you don't want anymore, instead of thrifting it, you can always paint it or cover it up, or, you know, do what we did. All right, I'm gonna wipe these off real quick and hopefully not hurt myself. I hurt myself in the garage, you guys. See that? Not yet. That's okay. My hubby decided to give me his cold. Marlene! Marlene. Girl, we were supposed to have a better year this year, remember? Okay, you guys. So here is the book I'm going to choose. It's been very well loved. So, I want to use, and I'll show you what I mean. See how Wendy has like the blonde hair? Some of you might recognize this book. It is a little bit older. Don't worry, I'm vintage too. And Michael and I forgot what the little one's name was. One was Michael, and the other one was, somebody tell me. I'm supposed to be the Disney fan here. But anyways, some of the cutest little artwork and pictures are from here. And there's Nana, the little nanny dog, right? That's cute. This is when they made her go outside. This is a really cute image. So you want to look for the cute images that stand out to you. Now, I already have one that I kind of like. Now, this is what you can do. You can cut out one or two, whatever you like, and then play with them. Or you can cut out a couple of them and do like a whole story on your thing. I was trying to think which ones. This is a really cute one where she's reading to or talking to the Lost Boys. Mom shared hers with me. I just had it December to the end of January now again. Oh my goodness. Hi, Donna. There's Tink talking to Captain Hook. Captain Hook and you guys, their names are leaving me in this live. I don't know why. They look about the same. Smee, Mr. Smee. Mr. Smee. And then the Croc is in here as well. There's Peter and Tink flying. I do like that one. So anyway, I'm not going through this whole book because we have 20 minutes, but I did want to show you the different types of, you know, pictures that you could use. Like you could use this one. You could even get this picture of Peter and put it on here. And that might be, I kind of like this one though, because this is when he's going through, you know, and saying bye to them at the end. So that's what I think I'm going to do with this one. And then it's either this or Wendy with the dog, because I'm a huge dog lover. And you can even do this, like on the back. But we're gonna go with this one. So, like I said, guys, it's already fallen apart, but we're just gonna peel it off. This is a good way to upcycle old books, and we'll probably make some tags and other things later with some of those other pictures. Now, I will say this, if you are not comfortable cutting up your regular page, you can always take this to your copier and copy it. It won't have the same effect because it's not the original, but it will work. It will definitely work. So that's what I'm going to do with this. Now I need to see if I want to put all of it in here. I need to see about how big this is. So this is the only part Chrissy didn't think about. But that's okay because we're crafters and we can definitely work this out. So what you can do, we are crafters. Dun, 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 dun. Right? You like my bangs? Thank you. They're a little, you know, they need to be trained. I recently did an opening of these little guys, and I'll have to show you. I have them both back there on my shelf. But this is about the size we need. So you could use jars, whatever you have in your craft room. See, I wasn't even prepared. But if you want to do like the 3 circles, you could use like the lid to your jars, whatever you have. So I am going to go ahead and line this up where I want it. I don't want to hide Peter's feather, and I can get all the kids in. So this is where I want it. I'm going to take a nice light pencil and trace it. There we go. Perfecto. All right. Now, I'm going to cut it out using regular scissors. You love my bangs? Well, thank you. All right. Christy has to see up close. I'm blind for far away things. Far away things, I'm totally blind. If you have a Cricut, you could use that, but Christy does not do well with big technology and fancy things. I trust my eyes for now. So we're going with my eyeballs. And it's probably not even going to be perfect, but that's okay. Crafting isn't supposed to be perfect. It's supposed to be therapeutic. I love the way your hair looks today. Thank you. I didn't really, you know, I will say I didn't really do much to it. I put a little bit of leave-in conditioner. Did anybody ever tell me what the other little brother's name is? I know one of them is Michael. Is the other one Timmy? Why do I think it's Timmy? That's Lassie, though. I don't know, y'all. I don't know. But this is going to be so cute. So, no pun intended. We can throw those away because there's not really much left in the scraps that we could use. So this is what we are going to do. We could either take paper or we can take another piece of fabric. These are like the little fabric scraps I have laying around. And this will be a nice contrasting color to separate the quilt part for your book page. Hey, Mel! So, what I'm going to do, I talk about this glue all the time, and I'm going to use it here on the live again today, because your girl is obsessed. But I have my favorite glue. There it is. My Scotch Wrinkle Free. This is my favorite glue. You just noticed my shirts? This is available at Five Below, and it is recent, so you should be able to find it now. I am going to glue the back of that, and I'm going to actually glue it onto my fabric. This is going to create a contrast from your patchwork, and I know you can keep it like this, but it'll keep a little contrast from your background patchwork to your actual picture that you also want noticed, right? So this is actually wrinkle free. It is, I also use the other Scotch brand. It's the same. It doesn't say wrinkle free, but it does work the same. And this is the permanent one. This one I believe is permanent too, because nothing goes anywhere when I use this. Not usually. And yes, I am just going to glue this. You could also use Mod Podge, but I trust this glue when it comes down to paper. And I'm going to glue it down to my little piece. And you guys, I'm not even ironing it because honestly, I'm just going to cut around it anyway. I didn't use that spot because I think it was too thin. If you guys can see that. Okay, so I'm just gonna put this on here a second. There's no dry time really to this. Honestly, I got that a little dirty from another craft. Your girl's getting dirty over here. Hello, Robbie. All right, so I am going to now do the same thing with my pinking shears. This time, I'm going to leave a tiny bit of a border. And you can choose whatever type of border, like, width you want in between. I'm not going to do too much, but I do want to do enough so you can notice it. And I'll show you why. Now, if you see some of that still coming up, it's okay. It's all going to be Mod Podge down anyways. It was just basically to hold it in place. And I do recommend you can probably put another piece of cardstock in between before you put it on the fabric. But I'm just using that as a template so I can get my border set up. And then I'm going to go back around just a little bit. So there's this piece. Now we're going to take that piece. Now remember, I told you could use little pieces of the book. You could even shrink them down on your copier or at Staples, and you can do like 3 or 4 or however many you want on the tray. I just wanted to use the one though. So I'm going to now Mod Podge this down, and then that's going to stay. I'll probably put 2 coats of that and then we'll let it sit overnight, and then you guys can see what it's going to look like in the morning. But basically, it is a little trinket tray. If you have, happy Tuesday, Miss Nora, how are you? If you have a, like an old book, like Miss, who was that in the beginning that said she has the kitty book? If it's falling apart, you can repurpose your own little kid's book. Thank you for sprinkling the love, but these make great little gifts, and honestly, people love these. They really do. All right, you guys. Now, because this is an old book, I'm not sure how the Mod Podge is going to do, but we're going to use the paper Mod Podge, so it should be okay with this. And I'm probably going to do another coat once it dries, and then we'll look at it tomorrow. The other thing you can do is you can use the sparkly. They have like the glitter Mod Podge. They have all kinds of stuff. You can make the sparkly. I mean, heck, where's Tink? She should be there. Thank you, Vera Lynn. And you guys, I know not every one of you likes the kids' books, and that's okay. I just wanted to show you you could do this with any type of book. Any type of book. I'm going to get a little bit of Mod Podge on the back first. And if you just joined, I'm using these little resin brushes. It gives you nice control on the evenness. We're learning words today at the craft box. You guys know what I mean. It gives you a nice balance. So, and then you guys can decide. Ooh, I found a flaw. Look at me. I'm actually going to move that up so it hides it. I found a little bit of that in there. All right. So now we have it where we want it, because there's no moving it now. And now we're going to go and just Mod Podge over it. If you find little, like, clumps in your glue, you can pull them out, like I just did, and just smooth it back out again. You have a little room to work with that before it dries. And then, my dears, that's pretty much what it is too. Now, while I'm finishing this up, y'all make sure you're following the Stand Tall Crafting group. If you're not already, give them a follow. They have, well, Miss Krista does. It's her group, and she does a great job running it, y'all. But they have amazing crafters every Tuesday and Thursday, most Tuesdays and Thursdays. And then there's new crafters each week. There's not the same crafters, which I love because everybody gets a chance. If you are a new crafter, reach out to Krista. Maybe you'd like to join as a creator. We're just a watcher. We love our watchers too. And that's right, Miss Krista. And the next person is Queen Bee's Bits and Baubles with Branya. And she's lots of fun. I love her little philosophies. Okay, now this is going to look a little glossy. And I'm trying really hard to not, put a lot of streaks in here. So I think I like it this way. I don't know a way that you can't put the streaks in there when using this, but it does dry pretty clear and it dries matte, so. And this ain't going nowheres. I think I just like using it. And now you can do, part of my fibers got stuck in my Mod Podge. Hold on. I'm going to get that off because it's making Wendy's dress all orange. She got an orange piece in her here. There we go. And like I said, this is the paper Mod Podge, so it's better. Okay, so there is our little dish. It's our little trinket dish. Isn't that cute? Isn't that adorable? Yes, and there she is in the comments. I did tag her, so if you guys are not sure where to find her, you can refresh the Stand Tall Crafting group. It's really the first one that pops up. You can't miss it if you search it on Facebook. And she will be up next. I love this, you guys. Let me dry this a little bit so you can kind of see the effect it has. Oh, yes, Miss Nora. She is a favorite watcher. Miss Nora, you don't have a crafting page, do you? Because if you do, I know I'm not following it. Hi, Sarah. How are you? Sarah, we made a cute little trinket dish tonight from a children's book page and some fabric scraps. Save your scraps. I tell you guys all the time. I can see it already. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. And of course, some people love to do resin. A comic book would be cool. Yeah, you could do something for the boys. Boys need trinket dishes whether they believe it or not, because you know where it ends up? On the kitchen table. There's stuff that comes out of their pocket, I can tell you. It ends up on the kitchen table. It ends up on the bed, in a pocket, in the laundry room, somewhere weird, in the shed. I'm not speaking from experience or anything. It got tacky. So I'm gonna leave that alone. Now, the other thing I wanted to show you really quickly, because I have 4 minutes. Oh, thank you, Sarah. It was really fun to make. We've been sitting here making it. All right, I'm going to plug this in real quick, you guys. I haven't committed to actually doing this on this piece, but I wanted to show you what I had an idea about. So this stuff can be found in different colors. I happen to have the rainbow one because these were on clearance at some point. So what you could do, and like I said, I haven't committed, but we'll see how it looks. And you could use whatever color you want. This can actually provide, I actually might like this. This we're gonna do from the bottom. But if you go around your edges, this is actually the perfect width, and this kind of, you will just glue this around and it provides a fun little edge for, what is that? Boys are just weird. Wayne, you're so funny. You need lots of trinket dishes, my friend, with all of your beads. I love it. Okay. If you go around the corners, this is how it would look. It would have like that little border piece. Should we do it? Let's do it. We have 3 minutes, and I think that's just enough time. Heat up, glue gun. Okay. I'm going to start at the bottom. I'm actually going to start right here. That's a great place because that actually matches. And don't worry if you see little pieces come up. You can always tuck that down later. All right, let's do it. No? Are you, hello? Are you there? Oh. Okay. Oh, you're welcome, Miss Krista. I know you guys want to go over. Yes, it's perfect for that. Yeah, you think I should do it? Okay. I'm just waiting on my, I should have plugged this in, but I wasn't sure what we were doing yet. All right, so. It's probably not gonna, I'm probably not gonna finish because it's not warmed up yet. But I will go ahead and finish this off, and then I will post a picture when I'm done with it. And then y'all, we're gonna go watch Queen Bee's Bits and Baubles with Branya. And I want to thank Krista for having me again. The hostess. I know people always call you hostess with the mostess. You're just, thank you, Nora. You're just so sweet, Krista. You do an amazing job. Trust me, I know what it's like running events. I mean, I don't know what it's like, but I know it's a lot of work. Thank you so much for having me, you guys. I appreciate it, and I hope you liked what we did. Remember, you can roll this any which way you want and create it to your style. Bye, guys. Love you.